if you want to make a lot of money in Bitcoin, it is very important for you to do absolutely nothing. And that statement seems absolutely crazy, but it seems almost like it's counterproductive. But a lot of people think they need to be always active when they're involved in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or anything. Like they think they need to be selling this, buying that, moving funds around, being first to buy this, being first to sell that. With Bitcoin, you just get it and then that's it. You hold it. You hold it for a long time and you get rich. That is the main strategy that people don't understand. It seems crazy because how can you get rich by just doing nothing? Because people think, oh, I need to be super busy, work harder than everyone else. But I'll tell you what it is. People do very, very well in Bitcoin when they do absolutely nothing because it is difficult to do that. Most people do a lot of things and they're buying this and selling that because there's a lot of noise in Bitcoin. If you are doing nothing, it means you are able to distance yourself from the noise in Bitcoin. That is a skill that you need to learn. And you can just start that tomorrow. Don't listen to the noise in Bitcoin and do nothing once you have Bitcoin. If you have Bitcoin and you are holding it, do nothing for a long time frame. That's very important. That is a skill. You will hear so much information online and it could be someone telling you on a social media post, or you could be watching the news and they could say that Bitcoin is going to crash next week. But if you have your study done, if you have your research done about the 4-year cycle, you know that's not going to happen. So that means not listening to the noise is going to be one of the skills that is going to allow you to make money over the long term. Doing nothing is one of the biggest things most people need to learn. They sell their Bitcoin too early. Why do they sell their Bitcoin too early? Because they heard something on social media or news or someone said it to them that something's going to happen and they believed it. And then they sold their Bitcoin and they ended up saying after a time after that, I wish I just held my Bitcoin and I didn't do anything else. There is a reason why that saying, I wish I just held my Bitcoin and I didn't do anything else, is one of the most famous sayings in Bitcoin. It is not something you buy one week and sell the next week because you will just regret it over the long term. Most people don't understand how to do nothing because they think in most other things, like if you're involved in any other industry, you have to be very busy in what you're doing, always taking actions, and they think that is going to, they think that's going to be able to climb the ladder compared to everyone else, because if everyone else is doing nothing and they take lots of actions, they think they will be ahead of everyone else. But when you are holding Bitcoin, doing nothing is the skill. Taking actions is like, what can you do in Bitcoin? Only sell it if you are holding it. What else can you do? You can get rid of it if you're holding it. That is the main action that people do that's wrong. If they're holding it safely, if you are holding it safely, doing nothing is going to be the thing that is going to make you rich. Not taking so many actions every day, because the main action is going to be just selling your Bitcoin and buying something else. The only reason you are going to sell your Bitcoin and buy something else is because you saw a post on some form of social media where they told you that this coin is going to 100x tomorrow. And it's just not true. And you've seen that it doesn't happen like 200 times in a row where someone says that this is going to 100x and you end up selling your Bitcoin, buying that altcoin, and then it doesn't happen. But then the following week, you think it's going to work again. You need to learn that most information on social media is not true when it comes to cryptocurrency or Bitcoin or any of that, because most people in the social media space are uninformed. I had to read a lot of books on Bitcoin to get the correct information. Someone who is not informed is not the right person to be telling you about Bitcoin. I've read a lot of books and the information I'm giving you is from reputable resources. It's not just, I didn't just make up the information. Bitcoin is going to go up over the long term. We could go back to basics here and say, why is Bitcoin going to go up over the long term? Because of inflation. You can measure it over the euro, the dollar, the pound, any currency. it's going to go up over the long term against these fiat currencies because the fiat currency supply is being increased by the central banks. I spoke about this in a previous video that I talked about inflation. Inflation is one of the biggest problems in fiat currency, but if you understand it, then you can just go ahead and take the actions which you know you need to do. So don't be involved in altcoins. They're not the way forward. They make the creators of the altcoins rich, not the people who are buying them. The people who are buying them think that it's going to 10x or 100x the day after they buy them, because the creators of the altcoins have spent a lot of money on creating advertisements which show information again that may not be true. They're promoting their token because they want you to buy it. Bitcoin doesn't have an advertising team. Bitcoin just has monetary principles. You need to understand those monetary principles and you're going to do well over the long term. And when I say long term, that's an important phrase. They're long term. You don't buy Bitcoin 1 week and sell it the next. That's not what you do. That is an altcoin frame of mind. An altcoin frame of mind is not what you need in Bitcoin. You are buying Bitcoin because of its monetary principles, not because you saw an advertisement from the creator of it. Satoshi Nakamoto is never going to advertise you Bitcoin. Like, they stepped away from the project a long time ago and Bitcoin has continued to do very well. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency that was ever created, and everyone just started copying the code of Bitcoin, changing it a bit and creating their own cryptocurrency and saying that it's better than Bitcoin. It's easy to say, oh, I'm better than Bitcoin, without actually proving it. And they can say, oh, look, it's faster, it's this, it's that. When they have these reasons, they tell you these things that, this altcoin is better than Bitcoin for this reason, X, Y, and Z. They're always falling down in another place. If they say our transactions are faster, well, usually that means it's less safe. Bitcoin's transactions are slower than altcoins, but it means that Bitcoin is more safe. Like, that's just something I had to learn, where these altcoins, they're promoting themselves. They're spending money to advertise through other companies and through social medias to get you to buy the altcoin. Bitcoin doesn't need to advertise itself because it is perfect money. And doing nothing is one of the biggest skills you need to learn in Bitcoin. Altcoins, people take so many actions every day. They're buying this, they're selling that. They're selling everything they have. They're putting everything into a new altcoin. Then they do that again the week after, and they're waiting for this big jump in price. And their altcoin goes up in price, and then their altcoin falls in price again. All the while, Bitcoin is just steadily going up. And then Bitcoin goes straight up for a couple of weeks. And they miss all of the gains of Bitcoin because they were jumping about between altcoins. Bitcoin is extremely different to stocks and those type of things because it doesn't have a team of people behind it that are making the decisions as to what's going to happen. I can make an entire video as to why Bitcoin is better than stocks, but altcoins has everyone taught that, oh, you need to be taking a lot of actions every day to do well. Whereas Bitcoin is the opposite. The best strategy is just buy and hold. Over the long term, it's going to make you money. You don't need to be taking all these actions every day. Actual research would be reading this book, The Bitcoin Standard by Safety and Moose, because it's going to teach you the history of money and why Bitcoin is different to altcoins, different to the financial system that we currently use, fiat currency. It talks about the gold standard. It discusses all of the history of money. It discusses so many things that I didn't realize had such a connection to Bitcoin. But once you understand the problems with fiat currency, you understand Bitcoin a lot better.